How are you doing
Hey,
today?
Sharonda, how you doing?
Doing good. I had me a little fun movie, some good action.
Good, good. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. You know, one of the things that I really love about this character that you play is it almost feels like you have such great charisma with the other projects that you worked on. But for this one, it feels like Ben's charisma is used against him as a weapon by the network. And so I want to know, playing a character that's kind of stripped of all of their humanity, they're kind of pushed to like the primal version of themselves. Like, what type of emotional toll does that take on you as an actor?
Well, I think that you're exactly right. I mean that's why. I mean, even in reality shows in general, we're in very much a reality show world. And if you're casting a reality show, I have friends that have casted some reality shows that we all know, and I had a friend that worked on the Jerry Springer show at one point, and like you are looking for that chaotic element, that person with a short fuse, that person's that's going to make for good TV. And that's what Ben Richards is. He's got a short fuse. The world has sort of pushed this guy down. There's a system where no matter how hard you work, you cannot provide for your family. You can't show up for the people you love. And there's a frustration. There's this growing anger within him. And so in addition to making for great reality TV, they just don't expect that he's also got that gut to survive, that strength and that fire to actually rise up and survive, the unwinnable game. So, yeah, it's a great character to play. I mean, I've always loved, underdogs. I've always loved that sort of, ordinary guy against extraordinary odds, and that's what this movie is.
It made me think about this whole idea of fate and destiny. It feels like, they put all of these characters into a box. Like Ben is just a character that has to like play through the different beats of what the Running Man represents. But I like that he discovers that he's become a catalyst, right?
Mm-hmm.
That at some point in time, no matter how much you try to push against your fate, you have to accept that you can be a catalyst for change. So I want to know for you, like, how do you make sure, like, with the roles that you take, the projects that you decide to produce, like, how do you want to be a catalyst of change in the entertainment industry?
Anytime you sign up for a movie, I always ask the question of why, and why now? You don't just want to make things mindlessly. You want to make things that not only entertain people, that have like a real heartbeat, something to say, but also like, what was it saying about the moment that we're in? What is it saying about, how people engage with each other? And The Running Man is obviously a wall-to-wall wild action ride. It's like something that you can just like, you don't have to know anything about it. You just sit in the theater and just enjoy the ride. But I think the thing that's made me so happy about what audiences are kind of picking up on it, and we've gotten to show folks now, and like the way people are responding is they're really talking with each other. It's really about humanity. It's about, there's a guy that's literally released into the world, and everyone is hunting him and hoping and rooting for his demise. They make this guy out to be a villain. And what you realize is like, it's sort of how we engage with people now, in the sort of TikTok, Instagram world. You can be on the other side of a phone and pass judgment on people and root for people's demise, without any sort of heartbeat and you just scroll past carnage all day long, and I find that this movie for me is really about kind of giving into our best instincts rather than our worst, and I think that's why this movie is like, while being an action movie, it's got a lot of hope to it. It's got a lot to say.
And that's what I love most. It's just about, it makes you believe that like you can be a change. You can choose to believe in people, and like the power of belief and hope, like,
Yes.
can overcome. So thank you so much for doing this movie, and thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I really appreciate
Oh,
it.
so nice. Thank you for taking the time as well. This is
Right.
awesome.
Sending so much love and light your way. I really hope you have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You as well. Appreciate you.
How are you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got to watch a fun movie. I got scared at the same time. So I'm living the dream right now. Okay.
I love that. I love that. I saw it last week. I am like so thrilled for people to see what we made here. One of the things about being an actor is that you kind of play your little part, and then the director takes the movie and adds the music, edits it together and stuff, and you just see like all the work everyone else has done on the film, and it's always a team effort.
It was so fun. And can I just say, I was like, I know you're like this hardcore killer, but you look so dope in just the outfit, just the stance that you have. I was like, I know I'm supposed to be scared of him, but he is really serving the looks right now. So.
I felt the same. The clothes did so much for my interpretation of the character, because I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh yeah, cool, that's him. And then I walked on set and everyone was like, oh, like that's scary, but it's also pretty cool. And it led me to a kind of a characterization of McCone that was like pretty relaxed. Like he was kind of calm and unbothered while all this violence is happening around him. Like he's just, hanging out. He's hanging out of a helicopter and he's got his rifle, but he's just like what's up?
And it's crazy because it's like he's a killer, but he's also kind of like this icon right now. And I really wanted you to talk about exploring the duality of the violence, but also like he is this like famous person like to this group of people.
I mean, he's, one of the marquee characters of this, most popular show in America, right? The movie's a satire, so obviously The Running Man isn't the most popular show in our America. But this movie creates like an environment where people are, more than desensitized to the violence, entertained by it. Like they feel strong watching someone else hunted down and murdered. And McCone creates like a mystery. And he also you don't see how he's feeling, so you're allowed to project yourself onto him. And you can feel like the strong person who's fighting the bad guys, hunting them down. And you don't have to identify with the vulnerable person who's running for their life. You can identify with the badass killer who looks cool in his leather coat. The movie primarily explores Ben Richards, like the reality of someone who's fighting for their life, but it also kind of paints the picture of the surreality of the reality show to kind of show you what he's up against.
But it made me think about also too this whole idea of fate and destiny. And I think it's something that your character even mentions at a certain point in time, that you can't outrun either. Like you can't outrun like what you were destined to do, or what kind of like at this point what society or what this show has basically laid out for you. So I wanted you to talk about having a character that kind of, it almost seems like your character has accepted like, this is my fate and this is the fate of the people that I hunt as well.
I mean, isn't it? I mean, fate, destiny, it's one of the most interesting things to think about, in life, in everyone's life. And what I love about a satire, what I love about movies is you can sit in the dark of the theater and you can have a good time and you can sit at the edge of your seat and be like, totally in the thrill of the hunt, but privately. And you can experience those emotions and feel your way through, these ideas and still be entertained. And then you don't have to feel them in your real life. You know what I mean? You can, and it could be an enjoyable experience thinking about it. I don't think the movie kind of like writes a prescription about what fate or destiny is, but it asks the question. And so like as the audience member, what I would hope is that people walk away with the same question that you're asking. Like, what is fate? What is destiny? Do we have control? Can we, like Ben Richards, make our own destiny? I love that Glen Powell brings this strength to the role. Like he is someone who can put himself in the middle of the mess. Like the game is rigged. Everyone in the country is trying to kill him. And you're watching him and thinking, I think he's got what it takes to get through it. I believe in him. Like, how is he going to solve this impossible problem? How is he going to do the run? And that's, I think, what the thrilling ride of the movie is. So, yeah, I love the question that you ask.
Look, y'all had me thinking deep after this one, okay? But I was still into it with the satire, the soundtrack. I just want to thank you all for making just such a fun movie. And thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I appreciate you. And I'm sending so much love and light your way. I really hope you have a great day.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Same. Sending love and light your way.
I receive it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, goodness.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I had a fun movie. So I'm living the dream right now, okay?
Thank you.
course. One of the things that I really love about this adaptation is that I feel like it stays so true to the emotional intensity that the novel had. And I really wanted to know from you, like, what was that one truth in King's novel that you really wanted to tell through this adaptation?
I think it was about the character of Ben Richards, that he's not an action hero at the start of the movie or the book. He's a guy who's walked in off the street to compete on a game. He doesn't want to be on the Running Man. He wants to do one of the other ones. Like, so he's willing to risk injury, but not death. But basically, he's an out of work dad. He's trying to like sort of like help his sick daughter. Him and his wife are struggling to sort of provide for the family. And I thought that aspect of it was something that was in the novel that I wanted to bring to the screen. And also that Ben Richards as a character has a lot of like righteous anger because, he stands up to bullies and, he stands up to injustice against himself and others, and he's punished for it. He's held back in life and he's very frustrated. And so seeing Glen, who's I think a really like charming, relatable actor, have some kind of like well-timed, like furious outbursts was like fun for me to watch,
I was like, oh my gosh, he's so angry. He's normally so charismatic in movies. So I love that this is like a departure from what we always get to see. That was like the funnest part about it.
When I cast him in the movie, I said I needed bad mood Glen.
Well, he gave it to you.
Yeah.
He gave it. But while watching, I was like, I feel like Edgar is trying to kind of drag nuts as well. I was like, should I be entertained by this? Like, I feel like I'm doing everything that everyone in the film is doing, like being entertained by somebody else's pain. And I really wanted you to talk about, like, because it is satire, but it also has that little drip of like, no, but this is like really what we're doing right now. So how do you balance entertaining the audience, but also challenging the audience to look through the mirror to see how they're complicit in the system?
Well, it's funny you said about mirror, because I always say about, genre films and like science fiction and, dystopian kind of fantasies, it's really about holding up a funhouse mirror to our reality. And so this is like, you watch it and then you question about like, how close is this to reality right now? And, if the film is kind of like, exciting and action-packed and funny in places, but if it also gives you something to chew on the way home, then great.
Oh, you gave me a lot to chew on, okay?
Are you still chewing?
Okay, I'm just saying. I was like, dang, I was supposed to be entertained, and now he got me sitting up here questioning how I'm helping the system win. Okay,
I made you complicit. You're now part of the problem.
Damn it, Edgar. You see how you do me? But look, I just want to thank you so much. Just thank you for just having this new adaptation. I just thought it was so fun. It was so fresh. And I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I'm sending so much love and light your way. I really
thank you much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.